You know, this right here is what triggers people regarding the European Union. And then when people become Eurosceptics because of shit like this, the European Union starts to blame Twitter, they start to blame the media, they start to blame the newspaper, they blame literally everything besides their own fucked up bureaucracy. Like, believe it or not, society actually has men, you know, grown adults that are capable of making their own decisions. And also, and I know this is shocking, but they're also capable of accepting certain risks. Like, there are certain things in life that we are aware that are harmful to us, but we are willing to take that harm. Because everything that's fun is either at some level immoral, illegal, or harmful. But that doesn't mean that we need the government, right? Like, which, by the way, operates based on our taxpayer money. So I need to pay some chucklehead to sit his fat ass down at an office to decide what other people are and aren't allowed to do. Like, why is my taxpayer money going literally against my own interests? Like, I don't need some fucker to tell me I can't drink coffee or to tell me that coffee is harmful. Like, unless he's a family member, unless it's someone that knows me, I would prefer if that person kindly fucks off. In fact, I would pay money to someone else to keep that person away from me. Which is literally what happened in America. Like, I'm not kidding. People are now terrified of the bureaucrats. Like, you're fucking scary. We need politicians to keep us safe from you. I don't need you to keep me safe from the coffee. No. I need to vote for the extreme far right to keep me safe from you. We saw it during the pandemic, right? Like, we saw this being dialed to 11 during the pandemic when the government was trying to keep people safe for themselves. We also have it here in Romania where the government is trying to keep people safe from elections. It's like the person from the Supreme Court came out and said, well, Romania has strong values and blah, blah, blah. So basically, long story short, we can't allow people to vote however they want. We need to save people from themselves. How about we elect politicians to save us from you? This is, no, seriously, like, the reason it triggers me is because it's not about the coffee. It's a consistent pattern. Like, when it comes to the European Union, and I mentioned it in other videos, we got the green agenda, which purpose seems to be to impoverish people, destroy Europeans' manufacturing system so that we now have to look to China to buy shit from them instead of building it here. We got the GDPR system, which is crushing any possibility of the European Union to have its own social media. Like, they keep whining about X and they keep whining about YouTube and other social medias like TikTok. But we can't create our own because no one is rich enough in order to become GDPR compliant. We can't build our own AI because of the copyright laws that the European Union has. Hey, great thing the European Union has done, right? And they were really proud of this shit. They have, like, the first legislation worldwide to regulate AI. Well, we're not regulating our AI because we don't have any. And then, like, all of the innovation is stifled. And on top of that, this type of shit is also affecting million-dollar businesses. Like, coffee is a very profitable business. Like, there's no reason to fuck with it. But if it exists, the EU needs to fuck with it, right? So apparently, this one actually triggered many people because what's fascinating is people don't care until it affects them. Like, until a regulation just fucks with their life, that's when they care. People are very libertarian with their vices, right? Like, notice this, with every single moral busybody is insanely libertarian with his own vices. Oh, if he's a drinker, he's got no problem with alcohol, but oh my goodness, like, someone watches porn on the internet, better shut it down. Oh, he drinks coffee, well, that's not a problem, but like, oh my goodness, if someone smokes, you know, like, people are enabled to understand that unless you stand together and you accept that certain vices are bad, but they should still be protected, because otherwise, what the fuck is the point of living? Then they're going to constantly have individuals like bureaucrats coming for their own vices separately, right? And so, like, now that they're coming after the coffee, it upsets certain officials, right? It's harmful to humans if swallowed under new chemical safety guidelines. Well, maybe you should get rid of the guidelines then. Maybe if the guidelines start going, it's like coffee is harmful, like, maybe your definition of harm needs to be reviewed. Because by this logic, even salt is harmful. Like, everything is fucking harmful, right? But, like, shouldn't there be a level of tolerance? Like, if people were drinking coffee for hundreds of years and we haven't stacked the corpses yet, like, people aren't dying en masse, then maybe it should not be considered harmful. Like, I get it. You know, like certain substances, like hardcore drugs, cocaine, heroin. Like, yeah, you know, that's actually harmful. Sure, like, you can have a conversation about those, I agree. But we're allowing alcohol, and we're looking at coffee as the problem. And then again, you know, like, certain things may genuinely be bad. Alcohol is one of them. But trying to regulate it and ban it maybe is not the solution, because we saw what happened in the United States during the Prohibition. The decision, which also includes banning caffeine as a pesticide, was based on scientific assessment highlighting potential risks to heart, hydration, and the nervous system. While the regulation primarily targets its use in agriculture, the ruling has ignited concern about how future policies may affect everyday caffeine consumption. Because this is another thing, right? Like, people have noticed the pattern, right? Like, the first thing they do is the boiling of the frog, right? Like, the first thing they do, they don't outright ban it, but, like, they decide, okay, it's harmful, so, like, maybe in this industry we don't use it. And if people get triggered at this point, they will call you a conspiracy theorist. It's like, oh, well, it's never going to go past this point. And my question is why? Why not? Why wouldn't it go past this point? What's to prevent it from going past this point? All you need to do is to draft another legislation and ask for the politicians to vote for it, and if they do, it gets past that point. Like, there's no system in place, there's no checks and balances to make sure it doesn't get past the point. That's literally how it works. Like, first they say, all right, well, we can't use it in agriculture. Then they will start saying, well, yeah, but, like, coffee drinks should only have, like, this percentage of caffeine. And then they keep going and going. I mean, look, in the UK, they banned tobacco use, right? Like, they decided, I think the king came out, and he said that if you're born after a certain year, even after you're 18, you can't smoke. Why the fuck can't you smoke? Winston Churchill fucking smoked. What, you know, like, that's the thing. Is this, like, constant busybodying, getting into people's lives, and telling them what they can and cannot do. Like, there should be an exception for only, like, the most extreme harmful things. Not for everyday shit. And by the way, you know, like, the use as a pesticide, like, I saw people pointing out that in the European Union, they're now allowing more bugs to be added in food. And they initially thought, oh, so, like, this means, like, they're going to start adding crickets in food? No. What it means is that because they fucked with the pesticides, now we actually we expect to have, like, a lot more bug meat in food than before. Because in real life, and the Soviet Union figured this out as well, there's no, like, right or wrong decisions. It's just trade-offs. You want weaker pesticides? Okay, you get more bugs. Not fucking rocket science. Now, I guess, you know, like, certain pesticides are genuinely harmful, but when you go for caffeine, maybe you should go fuck yourself. So apparently in banning the application to agriculture, the European Commission had scientific evidence. And again, like, the scientists are the new clergy. And I have to assume that no scientist in the world is corrupt. No scientist in the world is paid for or bought. You know, you can buy a politician, you can buy a cop, but, like, the scientists are untouchable. Like, they're above everything. And even then, you know, like, let's assume that they actually did find that it's harmful. Have the piles of corpses stacked up? No, then shut the fuck up. Jesus. So apparently caffeine has adverse effects like hydration, body temperature in adults, as well as on the central nervous system. Like, the way they're writing about it, it's almost like it's going to be used as a chemical in warfare. Holy shit. Oh my goodness, a bad effect on pregnant women. Goodness gracious. Some worry that this could be a step right. You know what also has, like, a bad health effect? Taxation. Taxation is awful for an individual. I'm willing to bet that taxation can decrease the lifestyle of certain people. If they need medical help, they may not be able to afford it because of taxation. Why don't scientists look at the VAT system? Why do we need the VAT system, right? Like, maybe that's harmful. Can we get rid of it? What about politicians? Every time I watch the TV, I get the same effects like I get from caffeine. Higher blood pressure, faster heartbeats. Why can't we get rid of those? So apparently, however, he clarifies that moderate caffeine consumption, as in beverage, is generally safe. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad that scientists are allowing me to drink coffee. Could this ruling impact coffee or energy drink regulations? They say it's unlikely to lead to an outright ban. However, it may prompt regulators to revisit labeling. See, exactly what the fuck I said. Exactly what the fuck I said. Like, the first thing they do is they ban it in a sector that doesn't really affect you in any way to normalize the issue. Then they start going like, okay, well, let's look at energy drinks and caffeine. And then they keep going. They never fucking stop. They never fucking stop. I don't know a single example where they fucking stop. And this is the problem, right? And then they wonder, like, why are all these far-right parties going into the European Union? Well, because, like, certain things should be left alone. Like, there's no reason to go after something that has worked for hundreds of years. Anyway, that's my take. Let me know what yours is, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.